Either one. Welcome back to We Startless. We are Startless. One player, 10 questions and answers. Episode number 33, featuring Dark Mr. Signal. Hey man, how are you doing?
Friend. Good.
Nice to have you here. It's been a while. Like we haven't had an interview for a month, but yeah, I was Discord all the time, and you've been really active. Like you've been around every day, and so I thought, I need to know who is this guy, you know? So yeah, let's do a little interview. Nice to have
Yeah,
you
I've been
here.
going
And
really crazy. I'm pretty sure I've gone from level 1 to level 18 in the community in about maybe 10 days. Maybe
crazy. Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
20.
You've been really active. So, and then you said you want to be a politician later on and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I thought interesting person. I need to know who is he, what he's about, and yeah, nice. I think we jump right in. I talk too much all the time. Just start with the first question. It's kind of easy, you know. If you want to tell us, I mean, you told me your real name. You can tell your
Yeah, of
real name.
course.
And how old are you and where are you from? If you want to, you don't need to answer anything. Just
Yeah, no worries at all. My name is Michael. I'm
like,
35 years old, and I'm from the city of Philadelphia.
really?
The place,
Oh,
yeah,
I
the
know.
place where Rocky comes from, and the
I
Eagles, and brotherly love and cheesesteaks.
Nice. Of course. Do you know? And I think Pi. She's always in the Gartic and winning there. Like they from Philly as well. So
No, I
yeah,
didn't.
yeah. There's a few guys from Philly I already met in this Startless Discord. Cool. Nice. Another American. Yeah, and the Michael doppelganger. So you stick it to the
Yes,
man. Stick it to the man.
I'm one of the less famous Michaels of Star Atlas.
Okay, okay. Yeah. But maybe one day you be the most famous Michael of Starless. We will see, you know. And do you want to tell us how did you get in all this crypto thing? Like when you started with crypto, how you got into the space?
Yeah, absolutely. So, roughly 9 months ago, I was just getting off of a really great 1 to 2 years in stocks and options.
Yeah.
The market was going crazy. Everything was wonderful. Everyone was happy. And I had done really well.
Hmm.
And I thought, you know what? Now's probably a good time to, take some money off the table, get a little more conservative, back away from things.
Okay.
So I took some time away from investing.
Hmm.
And during that time, I started looking into crypto as an alternative asset class. So I didn't know anything about it, didn't
Okay.
know anything about blockchain. For me, cryptocurrency, like most people, was just it's digital money. It's people buying Bitcoin and speculating on it and trading it left and right. And either way, uh,
Hmm.
off of my early research, I immediately fell in love with the technology, the applications, all the things that could be accomplished with blockchain. And I started off by buying a little bit of everything and experimenting with all of the different L1s and seeing what they could do. It took me only about a week to come to the conclusion that Solana was really the only long term option for blockchain as it stood. The fact that it was so fast, it was so cheap, it had so much bandwidth, it it made so many things possible that weren't possible previously for blockchain. So I fell down the rabbit hole of Solana, started doing an insane amount of research. Um, Probably logged about 200 hours studying the blockchain, and I think
So
in a single 2 week period, I listened to every single episode of Anatoly's Solana podcast, and I probably listened multiple times to just about every podcast that had been created about Solana at that time. So when I get into something, I go pretty crazy with it.
I see, I see, I see. Pretty like I pretty much went the same way. I went into Solana and thought like that's it, you know, like every other blockchain I was on, and I've been on a lot of blockchains. It was like, always, and then Ethereum, you know how it is with the fees and stuff, and it's kind of there's no fun in it. But in Solana, you can try out everything, here and there, this DeFi and that DEX and
It's huge.
everything. Yeah, and so it's easy to use, really cheap, and like right now we have a lot of problems, but yeah. And I'm really impressed. Like I didn't do that much research, so you dig deep, like if you watched every podcast and so on, it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
My biggest claim to fame was I came this close to being a moderator for Solana's Reddit. So for a while there, I was incredibly, incredibly active. I was tied in with all the other moderators. I was a huge part of the community. Pretty much all of the karma that I've accumulated on Reddit, I accumulated just by answering questions and explaining things about Solana.
So you're a big boy on Reddit as well. Like I was on Reddit like for many, many years, but like at the end, all my, my stuff like it's like messed up. I think I need a new account because it's like 50% porn, 50% gaming, and like some what the fuck channels, and like it's
Yeah.
really, really weird. I cannot show my Reddit to anybody. Like it's really messed up. So yeah, but cool.
Yeah, it might be a good time to start fresh.
Maybe, but I'm not ashamed. But yeah, it's weird. So I meant more into Discord, and now with the crypto space, I also got into Twitter. But I'm not a big fan of social media at all. So I
I'm
should
the
go
same
back to.
way.
Um,
Believe it or
sh-
not, other than Reddit and Discord, even though I'm super active on Discord, I don't have Facebook, I don't have Twitter, I don't have any other kind of social media. So when you're interacting with me on Discord, that's really one of the only places that you can interact with me. I'm not off somewhere else posting other things.
cool. Okay, let's jump to the next question. More about you. It's like I hope you're a gamer, because like most of us are old school gamers, especially the older guys. And so I want to know what's the first computer game you ever played, and what's your all-time favorite game, if you want to tell us, and if you're a gamer.
Absolutely. No, I'm a huge gamer
Cool,
my
cool, cool.
entire life.
Nice.
When I was a little kid, uh, I remember being a baby, and one Christmas morning, my parents took my pacifier as a baby,
Yeah.
and they replaced it with a Nintendo under the
Oof.
tree. And so,
Nice.
from a very early age,
Nice.
gaming has been very tied into who I am and what I do. Um,
I
I
like
would
that.
give an example rather than the very first game I ever played, which for most of us isn't really it doesn't tell you much about the person because it could just be something random that you didn't even like.
Yeah, some on
Um,
on on a on a like hotel. I had some
right.
weird machines, and yeah. So
The first game I ever fell in love with, and I think a really good game when you're a gamer is kind of like accidentally discovering a really good drug. You get a taste of it, and you realize your whole life is about to be ruined
that's
by
good.
this game, that all
Okay.
of your time's about to go into it, and you're going to lose yourself in it. The very first time that happened to me as a gamer in my life was for my generation Pokemon. It was this little game with these creatures and trading, but for someone with the way that my mind works, who gets very obsessed about things, who dives deep into them, it was the first game I ever encountered that it just had a whole universe inside it. There was so much theory crafting to be done, variables to figure out. There were so many different mechanics to it and ways that you could customize it. And it really rewarded people who spent an insane amount of time on it. And
So
since
was it
I'm that type of person, it was a great fit.
what was it on the N64 or Game Boy, or
Game Boy.
on the Game
Yeah.
Boy? Yeah, was for me on the Game Boy as well. And you also jumped into the card things, like the real life package and opening and collecting all the cards and stuff,
Oh,
or
absolutely. Yeah,
also
that
yeah.
was really fun for me. Probably the biggest card game I ever got into, which I still love to this day, although I don't really play actively, is Magic the Gathering. I just think
Magic.
that's
Oh, okay. There's a
it's
few.
just classic, wonderful, just nerd culture at its finest. It's
Yeah.
I love it so much.
And
But my
there's a
very favorite,
okay, yeah, go on. Sorry, I'm for interrupting. Go on, go on.
no, no worries at all. But my
No, I
very
just want
favorite
to
game
shout
ever.
out. Shout outs to the Putline because he's a big card game freak as well. And there's like two nice card games on the blockchain already, like the Gods Unchained, right? And the other one, I always forget the name. Yeah. And yeah. So now to your favorite game. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Support Line, and probably modern day the most active card game I play is sometimes I get bored, I'll play Hearthstone, which I also
Hearthstone.
enjoy a lot.
I'm on
Um,
Hearthstone as well.
my favorite game of all time would have to be World of Warcraft.
Ooh,
Kind of for the same reasons I fell in love with Pokemon as a kid. It was just such a massive, immense undertaking to build that universe, to build an economy inside of it, to have all of the mechanics and variables going on inside of it. Um, it was the ultimate game to get lost in if you're that type of player that really likes to soak up everything you can about a game, get really immersed in it, spend time studying it, learning it, how to really take advantage of it. It's very easy to understand how it became, one of the biggest and most successful games in history.
So another World of Warcraft. Like I never played World of Warcraft. I was on the Guild Wars side, I was like very skeptical. What like monthly fees and subscription, and I was totally against all this stuff. So yeah, I was only on Guild Wars. And you had a big guild in World of Warcraft, or
Not
mostly?
really. Somehow, I would join guilds, but for the most part, my experience was very singular. It was me on my own, grinding, playing the game, progressing, learning things. And uh, I always was a member of a guild, but it was never really a defining characteristic of who I was as a player.
Cool. And how many mounts do you have? The Asmode. When sometimes I watch Twitch and then I see Asmongold there showing off his mounts. So you into the mounts as well?
I don't play anymore actively,
Yeah,
but when I did, I probably had like a dozen different mounts. But it was it was a great game. It was amazing. I probably played every single character and class in the game to max level. Uh,
nice.
I spent a lot of time in there.
Cool. Yeah. Fantastic game. Let's go to the next question. It's about the music. What's your favorite music? Like any favorite song, artist, genre? What kind of music do you listen?
Party music. I love anything with a lot of energy that gets you really excited and amped up. I think there's this relationship with emotions and music for people. Um, a lot of people will listen to a certain type of music depending on how they feel. If they're sad, they might listen to slower, sadder music. If they're angry, they listen to, angrier metal music or maybe some punk. Um, I like to look at that relationship in reverse. However I want to feel, I listen to that kind of music. So for me, listening to super high energy, positive, music that just gets me really amped up and ready to go, it feels like it just charges my batteries. So I spend a lot of time listening to all kinds of high octane, electronic music, party music, hip hop, anything that's very high energy and, the type of music you would hear at a party or if you were running out of the tunnel getting ready to, compete in a sports contest. Um, it gets me really keyed up and energized.
It's nice, yeah. It's for me. It's also depending on the mood. Like when I wake up in the morning, sometimes I'm a little bit angry or a little bit sad, and then depending on that, I choose my music. That's cool. I like it. Cool. Any something which stands out, like any like special song or something who you like
Hmm.
most, or if not, it doesn't matter.
I have a whole playlist that I cycle through all the time that's just named Wog Me. We're going to make it. And there's
Nice.
there's so many awesome songs on there. I like uh I like the song "Running" by
Mhm.
ASAP from
Ooh, that's a
the
nice one.
Creed album,
That's a nice one.
or Creed 2. That gets
Yeah,
me really amped up. A lot of the stuff I listen to is it's very positive, it's very high energy. But when that song comes on, it takes me from, really happy high energy to like, all right, now let's get this done. Now I'm focused, now I'm ready to go.
it's a cool song. Nice. I like it. Good. We got that out of the way. What we have next? It's about the movies now. So, what's your favorite movie? Like I'm a big sci-fi fan and like Star Atlas, sci-fi. And but what's your favorite movie?
I think my favorite movie um, would have to be, I really loved um, the Avengers movies, especially like the latest ones, Infinity Wars and Endgame, were just incredible. Um, but if I took a traditional fallback, I really love Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's an incredible franchise. Um, Even though I grew up with, Star Wars, Star Trek, and, all these other different sci-fi universes, I would much rather follow the adventures of, Peter Quill and Gamora and, Rocket Raccoon and Drax than, the
Uh,
traditional Star Wars characters.
I love the raccoon. The raccoon is
Mhm.
like my favorite in there. Cool. So,
I like
you into
I
comics
like
as
that their
well?
universe. I'm sorry.
You into comics? Cause it was all about superhero movies and stuff. You like comics as well, or is it
Believe
just
it or
for
not,
the?
no.
No.
I only encountered, the movies and films and stuff like
Yeah,
that, and that's kind of how I fell in love with the characters.
cool.
My generation, especially growing up, like I said, from an early age, you had a Nintendo or a Sega Genesis or a PlayStation in front of you. Traditional comic books didn't have as much, you know,
Yeah,
viability.
I recently went in, or I tried to get in. The Vivi, the with the NFTs where you buy all the comic books and the figures and all the
Oh,
superhero. It's a pretty popular app. It's called Vivi, and it's on the phone, and then they sell NFTs like a certain amount, and everybody's trying to get them. And there's a lot of money on it. It's actually on the OMI or something is their coin. They have their own blockchain as well, so pretty interesting. Cool.
it's awesome.
Because it's where I saw the Avengers last. I think I have an Avengers comic on there. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, next question. It's about the food. Like we want to know everything about you. What's your favorite food? Like what's Philly cheesesteak? You could say like, but that would be boring. What's your favorite food?
Well, kind of like music, um, I think the greatest thing that food does for us is it gives us energy
Oh
and
yeah.
makes us feel good,
Mm.
and it's fuel for, going out there and doing your best and being awesome. And so being 100% plant-based, lately,
Oh,
um,
cool.
anything that gets me the most energized. So I
Nice.
love my fruits and vegetables, and I really love dates. They're just little sugary fruits, and
I
whenever I
like
need
it.
an energy pickup, they're awesome and they taste really good and they're pretty calorie dense. So if I'm running
I,
around and I'm busy, it's a great snack.
I admire that. Like to get vegan or vegetarian. And
Mhm.
like I've thought about it a few times, but like I still like meat. So how
Of
was the
course,
transition? How was the transition? Was it hard to get
it
into?
kind of it depends on your lifestyle, but I think it kind of makes a case for itself.
Uh,
I do a lot of athletic endeavors. I do jujitsu. I
ooh,
do Spartan races and obstacle course runs and things like that, and like to work
nice.
out and run. Um, I can tell you this much: when I made that switch, my recovery times between exercise they got cut in half. My ability to heal doubled. Uh, my ability to lift, my ability to run, everything got better. So for me, it's kind of it's like a free advantage that I have. When I'm trying to run and compete and go up against somebody else and their blood and their circulation system is processing, a hamburger, and I'm
Yeah,
processing, dates and apples and oats and things like that. It's a much cleaner system to run off of it. It's almost like being on steroids, the advantage it gives you. So
interesting.
meat does taste good. I don't disagree, but the performance benefits of being plant-based are just huge. And once you feel them and you experience them, you don't want to go back.
I had a little not Jinjitsu. I did a Kung Fu praying mantis. Like my
Oh,
teacher was,
nice.
but it was like I was like 11 or 12, and I watched Bruce Lee movies, and I wanted to become Bruce Lee. So I
Who
trained.
didn't?
I trained like some Kung Fu for like 2 years. But yeah, nice. And
That's
about the
awesome.
vegetarian thing, I should try it again maybe. Because it, as you describe it, it's probably healthy and good for your body. Because I'm getting old and I feel sick so often nowadays, and maybe I should try it again with the vegetarian food.
It's super powerful. I can at least say that much. Once you feel the way that you can feel, it's you don't want to go back.
It's
It's
I guess it's just the way you prepare your meals and you have to adjust it. And then, because I have a friend, he's a cook in a nice restaurant and it's vegetarian restaurant, and always I go there, it's so good and so nice. But like for myself, I probably lack the ideas and maybe it get too boring for me too quick. So I have to dig into the recipes or something. I like
Yeah,
dates though.
absolutely. And
Dates
I
are,
think there's a lot of different cuisines where you wouldn't really realize that, you're being plant-based. Like
uh,
I can go to Chipotle and, I can get, a big bowl of rice and beans and all kinds of salsas and sauces, and I can get a big bag of like tortilla chips and, and dip it in. It's so good. And, there's so many different things that you can eat, that you're not really eating any kind of meat or dairy when you're doing them, but you don't realize it. It's good, yummy food.
good, nice. Yeah, I definitely have to try it again. I'm not sure if I can make it, but I want to try it. Okay, what's next? More about Star Atlas now. How did you find Star Atlas? You've been here all the time. Like your account in Discord looks pretty new, or
Yeah, I'm pretty new to Discord.
yeah.
A lot of Star Atlas people would know me from Reddit. I'm
Okay.
kind of an OG there.
Okay.
The way I discovered Star Atlas was my research into Solana. So when I was telling you before how I went crazy
Mm,
and was
mm.
researching everything with Solana, one of the podcasts I was listening to mentioned Star Atlas. It said, well, one of the use cases for a super fast, cheap blockchain would be gaming. And there's this project out there, Star Atlas. They're trying to build this and that. Um, the moment I heard that, I started looking into Star Atlas and researching it. I got super excited right away. Um, the website was amazing. You see the trailer, that's amazing. I listened to a bunch of different interviews between Michael Wagner and other people. His vision was incredible. Um, I immediately bought $8 Polis, and I believe just over the course of the next 24 hours from that, I was like dancing in the streets with my buddy because it was going up to $11 and it was just going up and up, and I was so happy. And like I do, uh, I started doing an insane amount of research into everything related to Star Atlas. And either way, I sold it $11.
Nice.
I kind of freaked out for my research when I went, wait a minute, the market cap of this thing is absolutely gigantic.
Yeah,
And,
I'm always skeptical when you see the games like Axie and when I watched Livium, and then you look at the market cap like $2 billion, $3 billion, $4 billion. You think like, what the fuck? Like a normal game, like
right,
let's say The Witcher, a company, like can it be worth that much, or is it just a bubble? Because I think like, okay, like if it's worth that much, they could buy all the gaming companies like they want, and just so it's kind of always skeptical in that regard, but yeah,
right.
that's
And
probably
so a
why
big thing
mm,
was that when I discovered this and kind of freaked out. It was like, oh no, I uh, I started posting to Reddit, sharing just my analysis, just going
Mhm.
like, listen, guys, you're paying a lot of money for something that nothing has happened yet. No gaming studio has even been signed onto this project. I would be careful, and that
True, true,
that made
true.
me very unpopular for a
Yeah,
period of time.
I,
Um, eventually, I deleted my Reddit posts because I wanted to give the community some room to breathe, even
okay,
though they
yeah,
were the most upvoted posts on the Reddit at the time. But I backed away from it. The price clearly went down, and sometime around $1 Polis, I started entering back in again and getting back into the project because I always loved the idea. I always thought the
yeah.
project was amazing. I just didn't want to pay what everyone else was paying for it. And now I'm a big bull on Polis. I'm a huge bull for Star Atlas and a big supporter of the project, and of course, very active now.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I was in DeFi Land, another Solana
mhm.
game like Farm, and they had a town hall, and then I was asking some question, are you think it's worth $500 million, like, and about the market cap and so, yeah, and it's crypto, and they all be, and then like, I think it was 35 cents, and then it just went down, 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 down.
Right.
I don't know even know what it is, but they hated me for it, just to ask the question. So that's why I'm also always curious, most of us will call it fad, but I can understand people who are skeptic and like, and I always say like it's now 163, 4 days in score and we had no update, roadmap changed,
Right.
and like we have this big dream and everybody's theory crafting about everything, and but we kind of in a bubble, especially in the Discord, so. And when you look at YouTube, I don't know how Reddit is at the moment, or Twitter, and when you look at it and outside people there, and probably people who don't like crypto at all, and then they see this and they see the prices and how the value went down, and it's like, there's a lot of like, it's not looking too good from the outside, I mean, we in Discord every day, we see all the updates, we talk to the devs, and like the whole team is there, and everything is super cool, and they keep us updated. But for an outside person, it's really hard to grasp it, So yeah,
Well, one
it's
thing I do like, back in the day when I was bearish on, like $10 Polis and saying, hey, look out, guys. There was a YouTuber by the name of Big Fry, and he had this whole big video kind of pretty much, saying, Star Atlas, it's a dangerous project. Don't get involved with it. This isn't going to happen. They're not going to do what they're saying they're going to do. And that was a really popular video at the time. But
they still are
he recently posted another video following up to that, doing a deep dive into the project, where he said, listen, I'm not saying just go off and buy, a super expensive chip. But what I will tell you is this looks like a very legitimate project that could do some really incredible things. So even the guy who was the most famous bear, against Star Atlas on YouTube, is starting to change his tune. And he said he's going to be watching the project very eagerly, and he thinks we could really be onto something here. So it says
nice.
a lot when someone like that changes their mind.
That's really nice. I'm not following that much on YouTube. I just see like the videos with the most views are always like some, is it a scam, or like the
Right.
ship's not selling and the price went down and it's not good. But something like that is very like brings some hope to me, So people like not just flooding, they even see now, and if you follow it,
Yep.
you see the updates, you see they scrapped score and cream, and now scream, and now finally we see the first glimpses what scream maybe will look like, and I think the showroom is going really well. I expect the showroom pretty soon. I know we don't know exact dates, but yeah, there is something going on, and it's like
Absolutely.
we just have to, yeah, the people have to realize it. I think like as soon as we get releases, like there will be like we keep rolling, but yeah. Till then,
Oh, it'll be
we
a
have
game changer the moment it
we
happens.
have to stay strong. Like, cool.
People like drawing parallels between Star Atlas and
I
Star Citizen
I
and saying,
know.
oh, well, the game's going to be in development forever and this and that. But
Oh,
it just isn't the case. Just by the fact that Star Atlas has only been in development for about 9 months in reality, like
yeah,
actually, you're actually partnered with Sparasoft, you're actually progressing forward, the game's being developed, you're already dropping content, and you already have a viable game that's about to be launched in the next couple of months. You can see in-game footage from the showroom. You've got a free flight module, which is about to kick off. And that's all going to happen in roughly the first year of the project. Already, that breaks the whole comparison between Star Atlas and Star Citizen. What we
exactly.
promised we were going to build is being built right now, and it's going to be released pretty darn soon. You're not going to be waiting a decade to get something out of this project. Maybe another couple of months.
Let's hope they can do it. Like, I'm pretty positive at the moment, especially
I'm excited.
what they were talking about Scream. If they can pull it off with like a multiplayer without instances and we all together starting at the same space station, and then you probably gonna see like thousands of fleets around you, and just blows my mind. Like, so
It's going to be huge.
it's gonna be huge. And then I think a lot of people look back again and like come back and see, oh, yeah, something good
100%.
happening here. Cool. I think the next question is very, very much related. Like, and we already kind of answered it. Like, you still here? What got you hooked? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you always had the
So,
fate,
two
I
things.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the project. That's one.
Hmm.
And I think I can make a tremendous amount of money.
That's
That's
cool.
two.
Very, very, very positive. Nice, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good enough for me.
It's rare.
Like
I
that.
do spend a lot of time investing and studying investments, and I tend to do really well in stocks and options and other things. But it's rare that you get to make an investment that you both think is going to be incredibly lucrative and incredibly fun at the same time. And I believe Star Atlas in the form of Polis, for me is that. I am invested. I think it's going to go incredibly well for me long term. Um, I also think I'm going to have a lot of fun while that's
Like
happening. So,
it was for me, like, play to earn. It sounded so good, and I was skeptical, like Pyramid Scheme, and
mhm.
then I found Axie and Illuvium, all these games, and like most of the games now, they all look like 20-year-old games. Just now, put something with blockchain on it, and
Exactly.
but when I found Startlers, I thought, man, that is cool. Like, and then I went to the Discord and started theory crafting, and there were other people who had the same ideas, and yeah, then I just like I was sold. And if I'm still not sure if we can make money with it and all this, because I think it's really a long-term thing, with the
Mhm.
metaverse and creating jobs in the metaverse. Because I'm not convinced like it just like from the Atlas emissions, for example, we can get rich or something like that. For me, it's more like create something where people can be creative to sell something to other people.
Absolutely.
But
What I would say, though,
whatever happens, I think the same as you. Like it's gonna be a lot of fun to play that stuff. It's all I ever dreamed of, like sci-fi game, crazy metaverse, VR, fighting ships. Yeah,
absolutely. And what I would say, though, is the current market cap of Polis is somewhere around $200 million for the entire control of the Star Atlas
if
universe.
I don't let me even
Yeah.
always I think about police. I'm happy, but also scared. Like for me, it's
Mm.
like as you said, it's if it's getting too cheap, I don't know how low we can go. If
See,
somebody
that doesn't
apes
worry me.
Yeah,
I
if
just don't
but if
just don't
somebody
sell it.
apes in, I feel there's gonna be only a few people who gonna control it. And I was listening to a lot of Sask and all this police and like our new freedom and everybody can be part of it, but I'm still a little bit scared about police from that sense. So that some
I
people
think
just can buy it. Like if you have, like if I was a Bitcoin billionaire, I probably just would buy 100, half of all Polis or something like that, just like to make sure I'm gonna be like the craziest guy in there. But yeah, that's what I'm scared
I'm
of
amazed
actually.
there aren't more people trying to do that, honestly. But I think it's going to be a lot like Solana itself, or Algorand. One of these things where it starts off and there's a heck of a lot of tokens in a small confined space. But over time, as you increase in value, as the game gets released, as other things happen, those people are going to sell because they're going to be up a lot of money and they're going to want to spend it and invest in other things. And over time, I think those larger wallets will get smaller and smaller and smaller.
Like right
I
now,
think
most
what the token distribution looks like today is not what it'll look like 10
no,
years from
that's
now.
definitely because all the big wallets now basically are the devs. Like, and then there's a few whales, but it's not much going on. Last time I checked, I think it was like only like 100 wallets active holders or something. If
Mhm.
you check on Solscan, so it's not much going on. Like, and I'm really interested how it's gonna play out. Like first pump probably gonna come when we get the DAO, and then everybody's gonna stake it for the voting power. I'm really like it's gonna be very very interesting, and then long term also.
I'm
So
very excited about that part of the game.
Polis is one game itself for from Settlers. Like cool. Now I think is the most important question of them all. What's your favorite chip?
Out of all the different ships, my current favorite is the Busan Maidenheart. And it's the closest thing that I can see in Star Atlas right now, almost to like the rogue class
I
in
think
like MMOs. It's got heavy stealth capabilities, and so it can disappear on you, sneak up on a remote location, and then before you realize what's going on, it's right there in front of you, cannons blasting. And I think it's going to be a very interesting type of ship for strategic attacks and targeted or coordinated attacks in ship battles.
I
You could
think
have two different lines fighting each other, and a Maidenheart could theoretically, you know, move around behind key lines and launch an attack against a vulnerable ship or a key target.
damn. Sorry, I just wanted to check because I saw somebody today buying one. Actually, I don't know who's for Barra or Jan. One guy today, so I was kind of jealous. I just wanted to
Yeah, I think
check,
it's
and
an awesome ship,
uh,
especially for someone who, like me, enjoys like the rogue class in games. The fact that you could kind of phase out, sneak up on a key strategic target, attack it, phase out again. It's I think it's
super.
got a lot of really neat attributes.
Oh, for me, it's so tough to decide which is the best chip and the best because there's also how many are out there now? How many have 30? I don't know.
There've
And
got to be definitely over 2 dozen.
yeah, and then we probably get another 100.
Hmm.
It's gonna be
They keep
crazy.
coming.
They keep coming. Wow. Nice.
And of
Cool.
course, my favorite fictional ship, which I joke about on Discord all the time, is
Okay.
the C-33, which is just what happens if you take three C-11s and put them together.
I want I
Uh,
want a I want a German U-boat type of spaceship, like an U-96 kind of space submarine. Because I played this game a few weeks ago, Marauders or something, and it was like crazy. Like you've been in space, and there was a like your ship looked like a German tank in space and stuff like that. And then there was like the big NPC ships were like German U-boats, and you could board them and going to the escape ports and then fight, and it was really crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, ships, more ships, more money. I need more money for buying more ships.
Don't we
Uh,
all?
yeah. Already the last question about the future. I think you told me you just went off from a meeting from with Dark. So
Mhm.
what's your plans? And you were writing in the foundation room chat you're gonna be some kind of politician, maybe.
Absolutely.
So what are your
Um,
goals? Start with.
my goal individually
Mhm.
um, is to represent a class of player that I call the Polistician. You know, someone who
Policy.
just holds a bunch of polis, is very, very active and vocal in the DAO, is a key influencer who spends a lot of time coming up with proposals, arguing positions, working with people to accumulate key votes so measures can get passed through. Um, I really, for me, Star Atlas, the game is Discord and the DAO. When I'm in the Discord, when I'm coming up with ideas and talking with people about different things, when I'm in the DAO submitting proposals and coming up with ideas, to me, that is the game. That's an awesome game. And I love negotiating.
And
I love
you
talking.
Ustor, right? You in Dark, so you must be in Ustor, right? Yeah,
Absolutely,
you
100%. Yeah.
the
Um,
robot politician. I'm
mhm,
bad. Cool.
I love it. And Dark Matter has been absolutely amazing. I think they're doing a lot of things right relative to other guilds. I think being faction specific is important.
For
I
sure.
think if you say that, hey, we represent all the factions, I don't
And
know how that actually works out long term.
they
I think it's
probably
a lot
thought,
more important to say, hey, we took a side, we have a position, and we're the best option for representing the people that we represent. I think that's huge. And we have such an active community. They're so incredible. I'm really, really excited about Dark Matter.
and yeah, it's not about the numbers, like you don't need thousands of players, but you need
No,
good players. And I'm a big fan of Easy and like kind of pirate approach also. And yeah, I think Dark is a cool guild. Like, they're gonna
Easy's amazing. Yeah, and I
outperform a
love the
lot of
guild.
they're gonna outperform a lot of bigger guilds, like just of course they much more active and more like yeah.
Well, that's what we
And
are. And I make the joke that, uh, we're already being pirates before pirates are allowed. There's
exactly.
not even a game yet, but you might see a bunch of Dark Matter people all of a sudden jump into the SA Discord, and start having an Ooster party in there. And there's a lot of other guilds that, they'll claim to have thousands of members and all these other things. And
Yeah,
I don't want to get too into it, but,
no, we have to
yeah,
yeah.
if I only see two of your members on Discord, to me, that's how many members you have. And
It,
the one thing I can say about us is we're incredibly active.
I think yeah, we need Scream to see who can bring numbers and who's gonna
Absolutely.
like be someone in the game. Cool. That was yeah, actually it went really quick, and I always do the yeah. Did we miss something like Dark? I think you said all your goals. Like yeah, I think
Yeah.
yeah, and always the bonus question. Anything we need to know? Shout outs to anybody. Anything you want to add? Um,
For anything that we need to know and anything I'd like to shout out, I think I would just like to end it
hmm?
with the words of Dark Matter.
Okay,
And that is,
okay.
Scream is coming and darkness is waiting.
Cool. Very nice last word. I, I thank you so much for doing this, and I've been a bit rusty, but I think it went pretty well, and I hope to talk to you in the future. Hopefully, something like the showroom, like when we can have our Uster characters, and then we do an interview again, and we might do some guild interview with Easy and Dark Matter. You could join in there, and I wish you all the
Absolutely.
best for all your weathers, all your tradings, everything, and thanks a lot for doing this, huh?
Thank you
And
so much, my friend.
I wish you a nice day, and see you in Discord probably. All the best. Thank you. Bye bye.